Good morning, students. So, last class, take the topic of types of ovule we were discussing. So, once again, we recall the types of ovule, then we shall proceed to the next topic, development of monosporic embryo sac. So, first, types of ovule. So, you can look at the structure of ovule, which is the top of the ovule, micropyle is the top of the ovule, and the characinate is the base of the ovule. You must know the basic concept. So, which is the top of ovule? Micropyle region is the top of the ovule, and the base of the ovule is said to be salacilian. So, first one, orthotrophous ovule. Orthotrophous ovule means the ovule which is having microphyllae and salacilian and funicle, which are arranged in straight line. It is called orthotrophous ovule. Straight. Example: gymnospermic plants, ficus and pinus are example for these. Example: one more example: Piperaceae and Polygonaceae types of ovule is noticed in orthotrophous. Then anotrophous ovule. Ano means inverted ovule. So this is a ovule. Body of the ovule which is inverted, which is 180-degree rotated. So therefore it is said to be ana. Ana means inverted ovule. So in inverted ovule, micropyle and salacilian arranged in straight line, whereas funicle is on the opposite side. Okay, it is noticed in monocot and dicot plants. Angiospermic plants, this type of ovule is noticed. Then hemianatrophous ovule. Hemianatrophous means off inverted. So off inverted where the micropyle and salacilian is like this, then this is the funicle. Example: Primulaceae, primrose plant is an example for hemianatrophous. Then campylotropous ovule. Campylotropous, C stands for curved. Embryo is curved, slightly curved here. Okay, campylotropous ovule. Example: Leguminaceae. So examples will be asked for 1 mark. Campylotropous ovule example: Leguminaceae, and here C stands for curved. Embryo is curved in position. You could see. So this is a, suppose it need to be like this. Straight means it should be like this, but it is slightly curved. Embryo is slightly curved. It is said to be campylotropous. Then Amphitrophous, Alismataceae. Example: water pipe, poppy. So Amphitrophous, where you would have examples will be asked. What are the examples for Amphitrophous? It is Alismataceae, water plantain, and poppy are example for the Amphitrophous ovule. So here the microphyllae and hilum funicles very closer. They are arranged very closer. So here you notice hot shoe-shaped embryo is noticed here in Amphitrophous ovule. Next one, Circinotrophous ovule. So in Circinotrophous ovule, you could see the ovule just like orthotrophous, first type of ovule. Okay, but the funicle, this is a placental region. This is a placenta from where the ovary wall, the ovule attached on the ovary wall, that region is called placenta. So the funicle starting from here. Okay, the funicle starting from here, so it attached like this. So surrounding the ovule, the funicle is covered means then it is said to be Circinotrophous ovule. Example: Cactaceae. Okay, so Cactaceae is an example for a Circinotrophous ovule. These are the things that we discussed in the previous class. So development of a megaspore. So what is a megasporogenesis? The development of the megaspore from the megaspore mother cell, it is called the megasporogenesis. Just like microsporogenesis we studied now, the same way here megaspore is developed from the megaspore mother cell by meiotic division. It is called megasporogenesis. Okay, so in megasporogenesis, so this is a development of a monosporic embryo sac. Here you could see this is a developing ovule, young ovule. So in the young ovule center you could see the nucellar tissues. These are the nucellar tissues. One among the nucellar tissues which is larger and which is having conspicuous nucleus, clear nucleus, then dense cytoplasm. This cell is called archisporial cell. So you can here this cell is called archisporial cell. So in some of the plants, this archisporial cell, what happens, it directly act as a megaspore mother cell. Okay. Whereas in some other plants, this archisporial cell which undergo transverse division, outer parietal cell and inner sporogenous cells. Okay, outer parietal cell and inner sporogenous cells are formed by the archisporial cell. This see now this parietal cell further it undergo periclinal and anticlinal division to push these sporogenous cells deeper into the nucellar tissues. Okay, these sporogenous cells need to be transferred deeper into the sporogenous nucellar tissues by the division of periclinal and anticlinal division of this parietal cell. So now what happens? These sporogenous cells act as a microspore mother cell. Okay, this is a sporogenous cells. These sporogenous cells act as a microspore mother cell. Yeah, sorry, megaspore mother cell. Megaspore mother cell. MMC, megaspore mother cell. Okay, megaspore mother cell. This megaspore mother cell, it undergo meiotic division 1 and meiotic division 2 to form a linear tetrads of megaspore. To form a linear tetrads of megaspore. You can see the diagram for monosporic embryo sac and bisporic embryo sac, tetrasporic embryo sac. So based on the utilization of this functional megaspore, the embryo sac have been classified into 3 types. One is monosporic embryo sac, another one is a bisporic embryo sac and tetrasporic embryo sac. So what is monosporic embryo sac? You can see this is a megaspore, functional megaspore. Out of this, okay, this megaspore cell which undergo meiosis 1 to form 2 cells and meiosis 2 in forming the 4 cells. They are arranged in linear. Out of these 4 cells, one cell acts as a functional megaspore. Only one cell acts as a functional megaspore. Therefore, it is called a monosporic embryo sac. Then monosporic embryo sac, example Polygonum. Polygonum, Notgrass plant. So where in Polygonum genus we have 130 different species are there. So this is the example for the monosporic embryo sac. Next one, bisporic embryo sac. So this is a megaspore mother cell. This megaspore mother cell is undergo meiotic division 1 to form a 2 cell. Then meiotic division 2, again it go cell division to form a 4 haploid cells. Okay, 4 haploid cells are formed, but without a cell plate. In the second meiotic division, without forming the cell plate, it forming the 4 haploid megaspore. So out of these 2, only one. So these 2, out of these 4 megaspore, only these 2 megaspores are involved in the function. It acts as a functional megaspore. Therefore, it is called bisporic embryo sac, where you could have 2 haploid nucleus. So 2 haploid nucleus is here. So therefore, it acts as a functional megaspore. 2 haploid nucleus act as a functional megaspore. Therefore, it is called bisporic embryo sac. Tetrasporic embryo sac means, so this is a megaspore mother cell which undergo meiotic division 1, 2 cell. Okay, 2 haploid cells are developed. This is a 2n incandescent, and this is the meiotic 1, then meiotic division 2, it is forming the 4 haploid cells, but without forming the cell plate here. So where you do not have the cell plate, where therefore all the 4 haploid cells are arranged in a single embryo sac. Okay, these all the 4 haploid cells are involved in the formation of embryo sac. Then it is said to be tetrasporic embryo sac. So example for tetrasporic hyperomnia. Okay, peperomia, and here allium. Onion is example for the bisporic. Polygonum is an example for the monosporic embryo sac. Now coming to the development of a monosporic embryo sac. So as we said, the oxysporia cell undergo division to form a parietal cell and the sporogenous cells. The sporogenous cells act as a microspore mother cell. This microspore mother cell which undergo mitotic division. So the megaspore mother cell. This is a megaspore mother cell which undergo meiotic division to form a linear tetrads of megaspore. So out of these 4, 3 of them will be degenerate. Look at this. 1, 2, 3 megaspores degenerated. Only one will be act as a functional megaspore. Only one act as a functional megaspore. Let me be this. This is a functional megaspore. Okay. So one act as a functional megaspore. After that, what happened? The mitotic cell division starts from here. So one megaspore undergo mitotic cell division to divide into 2 nucleus. This is a 2 nucleus, and where we will be having larger vacuole will be present at the center, so that the megaspore will be taken to the opposite sides. Okay. After that, what happened? Again it goes second atom. So second mitotic cell division it takes place. As a result, 2 nucleus will become 4 nucleus. So when the third atom will take, that is mitotic cell division, 4 will become 8 nucleus. So where you could see this 8 nucleus will be there. So this is the embryo sac where we will be having 1, 2, 3, 4, and here 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So 8 nucleus is formed now after the mitotic division. So where the cytokinesis does not take place. Okay. At the last division of mitotic state, the embryo sac starts to elongate towards the micropyle and salacelline. After that, what happened? Cell wall is developed. So the upper these three cells act as a egg apparatus. And this is the upper polar nucleus. This upper polar nucleus is brought to the center of the embryo sac. Then lower we have 4 nucleus now. So out of the 4, 3 of them forming is there 1, 2, 3. Where these 3 of them forming antipodal cell. So antipodal cells are present towards the salacil region. So the salacil region side, antipodal cell is present, egg apparatus is present towards the micropyle. So you should not confuse egg apparatus and antipodal cell. Okay. So among these three, 2 two of them said to be synergetic cells or synergetic cells. So two of them are synergetic cells. One large sized cell is present at the middle. It is said to be X cell. It is said to be X cell. Okay, this X cell, this is a X cell. So in the synergetic cells, where we will be having a thick walled synergetic cells. What is the function of synergetic cells? It secretes the chemotrophic substances. That chemotrophic substances direct the pollen tube towards the embryo sac. Towards the embryo sac. It is a function of a synergetic cells. The next one, what is a filiform cells? Filiform cells. Filiform cells. What is the function of the filiform cells and where it is present? In the synergetic cells, okay, where we having thicker cell wall, it is called a synergetic cells. The thick walled cell is called a filiform cells. These filiform cells function is directing the pollen, attracting the pollen tube towards the egg cell. It is the function of the filiform cell. As soon as it conducts the nutrient and the absorption of nutrients from the nucellular tissues is the function of the filiform cells. So what is filiform? It is a thicker cells which are present in the synergetic cells. So its main function is directing or attracting the pollen tube to the embryo sac. Then second one, absorption and conduction of food material from the nucellular tissues to embryo sac. This is the main function of the filiform cells. Okay, here in the opposites where we have antipodal cells, and this is a two polar nucleus. In some plants, this two polar nucleus may be fused or it may be free. If it is fused, then it is forming the secondary nucleus. So, from this topic, what are the questions can be expected? So, one mark it will become what is a monosporic embryo sac? Give an example, polygonal type. And what is the difference between bisporic embryo sac and tetrasporic embryo sac? Give an example. Okay, this is the 2 mark. Then, if it is development of the monosporic embryo sac, draw the diagram and explain it. It comes for the 5 mark. Okay. Then 2 mark. What are filiform cells and what is the main function of the filiform cells? So these are the questions which we expect from this topic. So next class we shall see some other topic. Thank you.